Something deeply unsettling was caught on camera during a live television broadcast at the Cannes Film Festival, right in the middle of a press conference featuring actor Johnny Depp. As Depp was fielding questions from journalists, something completely unexpected unfolded.
Be patient with me, I'll put it that way.
Do you feel that the tide is changing toward you doing major studio films again?
We're discussing. Did I feel boycotted by... We're discussing. Did I feel boycotted? Did I feel boycotted?
Any warning, a dark, semi-transparent figure shot through the crowd of reporters at a speed that defied all logic. There's simply no way this could have been a person. No human being is physically capable of moving that fast.
We're discussing.
The footage from that press conference remains publicly available on the official Cannes Film Festival channel, uploaded as an ordinary video with no special attention drawn to it. Nobody present appeared to register the presence of this entity whatsoever. Feel free to pull up the original footage and judge it with your own eyes. So tell us, how do you make sense of what's shown there? On what seemed like a completely unremarkable afternoon, a woman was relaxing in an armchair, casually browsing her phone. Nothing about the scene suggested anything was wrong, until something deeply unsettling unfolded, all of it recorded by a security camera that happened to be running in that very room. Without any warning, something appears from behind the chair and makes contact with the top of her head. She instantly leaps to her feet in a panic, so startled that she pulls the armchair along with her as she scrambles away. She frantically scans the room, trying to make sense of what just occurred, yet there is visibly nothing there. Now here's where it gets really interesting. When investigators slow the footage down and go back through it frame by frame, what touched her head becomes much clearer, and it bears a striking resemblance to a hand. What makes it even more chilling is that the size and shape of that hand appear to match those of a young child. Shaken by the experience, the woman uploads the clip to her social media pages. She also films a follow-up video where she walks viewers through exactly what she went through that evening, and that's when the story takes an even darker turn.
Que é uma porta que tem aqui. Eu vou mostrar agora para vocês que não tem porta nenhuma. Pronto, tá aqui, ó, a poltrona onde eu estava, o carregador, a câmera ali. Aqui não tem porta, tá? Aí aqui, quando deitar, a pessoa vai mexer aqui, ó, na minha cabeça. Vai aparecer aqui, gente.
In this second recording, she admits she has no rational explanation for what occurred. According to her, unsettling things had already been taking place inside her home for a considerable period, strange, recurring incidents that were impossible to dismiss. She stops short of drawing any firm conclusions, and she doesn't claim to have all the answers. She simply raises the idea that something paranormal could be behind these events. After reviewing the footage and listening to everything she describes, the mystery only deepens, no explanation emerges, and ultimately, the truth is. On March 4th, 2026, at roughly 11 o'clock at night, Destiny K is deep in sleep when something completely out of nowhere jolts her awake. What she didn't realize in that moment was that her home had just been hit by lightning, but that wouldn't be the only thing catching her off guard, because on that very same night, something deeply unsettling was picked up on her cameras. Right at the moment the lightning struck, something occurs inside her bedroom.
Okay. So that's me in bed. There's a TV. Look in this general area, okay? This corner of the room. And tell me if you see what I see. The lightning strikes. Look in this bottom right corner. Wait for it. There.
We're going to run this footage in slow motion so you can get a better look. Keep in mind that the audio you're hearing wasn't added in post. That sound is exactly what the footage produces when played back at 10% speed. Here's what the camera recorded.
Do you see that? Tell me that doesn't look like a person sitting on the floor in my bedroom. And then they're gone. And then it's just gone. With this thing.
Destiny herself can't quite identify what's showing up here, but she can clearly make out what looks like the silhouette of a human figure. The image is far from sharp, but there's no denying that something materializes out of nowhere before vanishing just as quickly.
Where I capture the footage, I do not want to go over there, so I'm kind of staying over here. I haven't really sort of crossed this way. I sort of exit out the other door.
And as it turns out, that wasn't the only strange thing her cameras captured that night, because something else entirely was recorded elsewhere in her home during the same incident.
Literally half the power in this house is out.
In her living room, the security footage shows the fire department showing up to assess the property. They were there to check for any hazards the lightning strike may have caused, but while they were doing their walkthrough, something very odd takes place.
I'll capture on like a security camera that's battery operated, and thank God we had that. Pay attention to this firefighter right here. He keeps looking over at the couch again and again, like as if someone's sitting there and there's not. And this is what
According to the firefighters, they were convinced they could see somebody seated on the couch. Pay close attention to what happens next.
Really? Yeah. Well, invited is right now. Invited is a strong word. I had to pay. Part of my life.
On that very same sofa where they believed someone was sitting, the back cushion slowly rises, almost as if a person had just stood up and walked away. Now, the straightforward explanation would be that one of the firefighters had been leaning against it, and the cushion simply bounced back once they moved. But here's where it gets genuinely hard to explain. If that's the case, then what do you make of this? Just a few minutes earlier in the same footage, before anyone approached that panel, one of the firefighters sweeps his light across the couch and reveals the following.
You know what, actually? I knew you did. That's the very corner of the dark and the right and the wall. There you go. Oh, okay. Alright, else. All I need are 10 minutes.
Nobody was anywhere near that sofa at this point, yet the cushion impression begins to fade and lift, as though someone had risen from where they'd been sitting, almost like a presence retreating from the light. None of the firefighters caught this on the night it happened, and neither did Destiny, until she sat down and combed through every second of footage looking for anything unusual. But while going through everything, she spotted something else she'd completely overlooked, and there's a good chance you missed it too while watching these clips. Earlier in the footage, right around the time the firefighter kept glancing toward the couch as if someone was there, watch what unfolds.
I didn't even know. House. Number 4. No, not that I mean, we've got like city blackouts, but not power stuff. Situation.
Whatever he kept sensing on that sofa was clearly bothering him enough that he couldn't stop looking over. Maybe he was trying to rationalize it, but every glance only seemed to deepen the confusion. Then, without explanation, a lit candle suddenly goes dark, and shortly after, a second one does the same. When you factor in both candles going out alongside 2 firefighters independently believing they saw a figure on that couch, the whole thing becomes genuinely difficult to shake. Given everything that unfolded that night, it's hard to blame Destiny for wondering whether something paranormal was present in her home. But as is usually the case with footage like this, no definitive answer has been reached. There haven't been any updates since, and for now, this one remains unexplained. As always, drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know what you think.
Hey!
A man was relaxing at home one evening when he realized his dog was nowhere to be found inside the house. It was well into the night, so he headed outside to track the animal down, and what he encountered stopped him cold. His dog was planted in the middle of the yard, completely still, staring into the darkness ahead. Something about it felt deeply wrong. He called the dog's name, but got nothing, no reaction, no movement. He pulled out his phone and started recording. He didn't actually sit down and review the footage until much later, and when he finally did, something in the video caught him completely off guard. There was a tall, humanoid shape moving away into the blackness. The person who posted it points out that you can make out the silhouette of this figure as it retreats toward the tree line. Personally, I've gone back and watched this multiple times without much success picking it out, but others who've seen it claim to have had better luck. Some viewers who zoomed in and enhanced the footage say they could make out a towering creature with a face resembling bare bone. Others describe it as having an almost misty, ethereal quality. There's no shortage of theories floating around, but only one of them can actually be right. I'll leave the judgment to you. Take a close look at what was captured and let me know what you think you're seeing.
What the hell is that? Hey!
This next clip was recorded by a lone security guard working the overnight shift at a large school, making his rounds to ensure the entire building was safe and secure. Late into one of his shifts, as he moved through the hallways, he began getting the unsettling feeling that something, or someone, was trailing behind him, and strange sounds started filling the silence. See for yourself. Eerie noises echo from somewhere deep within the building, and as he pushes further into his search, he ends up capturing something that sends a chill straight through him. What sounds unmistakably like a distant scream rings out from somewhere inside the school, rattling the guard badly. When he later looked into the history of the building, he found that 2 students had actually died in that very same hallway. Then, as he steps into one of the classrooms, this is what unfolds. Chairs that had been stacked on top of the tables suddenly crash to the floor by themselves the moment he walks in, and when he rushes over to investigate, there's not a soul in sight. After going back through the security footage, he realized the cameras had also picked up something disturbing the following night, and what he saw stopped him cold.
Oigan, miren, no sé si alcancen a ver ahí en la ventana. Ahí, que se ve algo, ¿sí ven? Ven. ¿Se alcanzan a ver la sombra?
A shadowy figure is visible peering through the glass panel of the door before slipping back around the corner. The incidents keep escalating, and with every passing shift, his fear of being inside that building is growing harder to ignore. The TikTok page you're looking at belongs to a French woman who has appeared on this channel previously. She's been recording a string of bizarre and deeply unsettling experiences, most of which seem to take place in her child's room. Strange events like these have been occurring in her home for a while now, but a video she posted recently left her entire following completely rattled. As always, items begin moving without anyone touching them. Then, the moment the camera pans toward the window, something stops you cold. Caught in the reflection, you can make out a tall, shadowy figure standing motionless right behind her. It was the first time anything like that had ever shown up on her footage. Visibly shaken, she wastes no time getting out of that room. Some viewers are fully convinced this is genuine, that something supernatural has taken hold of her home. Others aren't so sure, suspecting it could be an elaborate hoax. So where do you stand? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. In 2020, a TikTok user going by Laura Blonde uploaded a clip that exploded across the internet. Racking up around 3 million views, the footage was shot one evening while she was out at a bar with friends. Her group had intended to capture a fun moment together, But what ended up on camera was something far more disturbing. Over on the far right of the frame, a ghostly face slowly materialized out of the darkness, hovering directly behind her and eerily inching forward. After the video made the rounds, viewers were unsettled to spot the shadowy presence lurking just over her shoulder, something she herself appeared completely unaware of. With its hollow black eyes and deathly pale complexion, this figure looks like it was pulled straight from a horror film. And if you're watching this right before you turn the lights off for the night, I'm truly sorry you had to see that. A Dutch woman named Mary took to TikTok to share her worries about her youngest son, Matteo. He had been playing alone in his upstairs bedroom when she suddenly heard him cry out. She ran up to check on him and found nothing out of the ordinary. It wasn't until she pulled up the security camera footage later that she got the shock of her life. In the recording, Matteo can clearly be seen staring at and apparently quarreling with something entirely invisible to us. Then, without warning, the 2-year-old is knocked backward and tumbles to the floor. Mary confirmed he walked away without a scratch, but that's when things take a truly unsettling turn. She reveals that she had originally been carrying triplets, and tragically, the other 2 pregnancies did not survive, leaving Matteo as the sole child. Mary has come to believe that the spirits of his 2 lost siblings may be coming back to visit him. So what's your take on what went down in that room? A man was convinced he'd stumbled upon his ideal living situation. The place was quiet, the rent was manageable, and the surrounding neighborhood felt like somewhere he could finally settle. Everything he'd been after. Late one evening, while recording footage near the hallway, a harsh scraping sound tore through the silence of the apartment. He crept closer to investigate, and here's what his camera captured. On its own, grinding to a halt just inches away from where he was standing. He didn't stop to think. He bolted straight out of the building. Standing on the street below, he glanced up toward his apartment window and went completely still. A shadowy figure was there, unmoving, peering down at him from behind the glass. Several hours passed before he worked up the nerve to go back inside, having nowhere else to turn. But something had already shifted in him. Whatever was occupying that apartment had made its presence known, and it clearly had no intention of going anywhere. Our next clip comes from paranormal investigator Abdullah Al-Anbari, who sets out to explore a deserted Islamic school somewhere deep in Saudi Arabia. Locals claim the building was shut down after relentless poltergeist activity forced both students and teachers to flee. Witnesses reported furniture shifting on its own, doors slamming with no one nearby, and disembodied whispers drifting through the corridors long after everyone had gone home. To this day, the structure remains standing, hollow and silent, a grim monument to whatever horrors unfolded within those walls. But the moment Abdullah crosses the threshold, what he documents will leave a permanent mark on him. See for yourself.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء الرحمن الرحيم حسبي الله ونعم الوكيل.
While Abdullah recites verses from the Quran, violent banging suddenly erupts from the floor above. An object comes hurling down the staircase. Yet, rather than turning back, he pushes forward to find the source. Here's where things start to escalate.
حسنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. هذا مكان مسلمين. أنتم مش جايبكم هنا. أنا متحسن بذكر الله عز وجل. ولن يضرني إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لي. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله. أعوذ بالله.
The further he ventures inside, the more intense the disturbances become. You can sense that whatever presence is lurking in there is drawing nearer, almost as if it's building towards something dangerous. And that's when he makes a critical error. He doesn't stop.
حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. الله القوي وأنتم الضعفاء. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله. بسم الله.
His voice begins to break, and the fear on his face is unmistakable as the lights directly above him shatter and go dark. He would later describe this as one of the most overwhelming poltergeist encounters of his entire career. If you're curious to watch the full investigation, you can find it over on his YouTube channel. It's almost Christmas, and a social media user named Bree has been decking out her home for the holidays. She's got a Christmas tree up, a wreath hanging on the door, and naturally an elf on the shelf. These beloved little dolls are supposed to keep an eye on kids for Santa Claus, reporting back on whether they've been naughty or nice. Parents secretly reposition the elves throughout the house while the children sleep, maintaining the illusion that the dolls are actually alive and moving on their own. It's all meant to be harmless, festive fun. But over the past few years, a growing number of people online have started reporting unsettling things connected to these elf dolls. Some claim the elves genuinely move by themselves, while others insist they've witnessed the dolls reacting to the spirits of children who have died. Bree uploaded the footage after her son managed to capture something deeply disturbing on video. He'd stayed up well past bedtime hoping to catch the elf in the act, but what his camera recorded was something else entirely. In a sudden burst of blue light, something materializes on screen. Look carefully, and you can make out what appears to be the silhouette of a small child staring up toward the elf doll. Bree says she has absolutely no rational explanation for the eerie figure that appeared. She points out that she and her other children were all sound asleep at the time the video was taken, which rules them out completely. As far as she's concerned, whatever showed up in that footage has to be supernatural. Many viewers who watched the clip believe that what Bree Dunn captured was the ghost of a child who passed away right around Christmas time. But what's your take? Is that a spirit caught on camera? Or is there a perfectly reasonable explanation hiding in plain sight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. She watched her daughter rush inside the house looking visibly shaken, and moments later, a masked man clutching a hammer came into view. The family had no idea who he was, and they believe he may have been deliberately directed to their home. Fortunately, her daughter managed to get through the door just in the nick of time, throwing the lock behind her. The whole family is still haunted by the thought of what might have unfolded had she been even a second or two behind. David is a contractor out of Oakland, California, who runs his own remodeling operation. But one particular project took a turn he never could have anticipated, one that left him genuinely shaken. He'd been brought in to renovate a room where, years before, a devastating fire had taken the life of a 3-year-old girl. Because of the ongoing work, the floors were blanketed in a thin layer of white drywall dust. Then, one morning, he showed up to the job site and found something that stopped him dead in his tracks.
Okay, so my last video wasn't too long because I didn't press a 10-minute icon. But anyways, I'm just getting into work, right? Nobody in this unit. I'm the only one besides the owner with the key. The owner lives all the way in New York. I'm in Oakland, California. So this unit had a fire a few years back. This was a little girl's room. This was her room. And I'm like lost for words right now, I'm sorry. Like, catch my breath, I'm getting chills, hair standing up on my arms. But the girl that happened to pass away in this unit was 3 years old. Look at what the I see on the ground. Those are not an adult-sized footprint going into the wall. This is where her bed was at, right here. I talked to the owner, I video called him and everything. And I've been here and little kids laughing. I just thought it was coming from outside. But it's like a little, I felt something go like this to my ear. And yeah, I hear all the activity coming from that closet. And right here, but this really baffled me. Like I said, nobody else has the keys. There's no kids in here. I lock up everything. It's a 4-unit complex. Nobody's in here. Nobody been in here. There's an alarm system. So we got paranormal activity. Look at these little feet. Look at these little cute little feet. If you're in here, ghosts, I mean no harm. I'm Uncle Dave. You call me Uncle Dave. Just fixing up your room for you. Okay? But yeah, I believe in ghosts. So if you have anything paranormal, share it on Ghost. But man, I work in every environment, even if it's haunted, you know. But yeah, you know. But yeah, say something. You hear some ghosts or whatever, or capture those activities, share it, man. Okay, peace out. God is love.
What David recorded is already enough to make your skin crawl, but once he posted the footage online, his audience caught something even more chilling, something he himself had completely missed. At exactly 1 minute and 58 seconds in, a faint, ethereal voice can be heard murmuring a single word: "Hi."
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Then, about 15 seconds after that, just as David is finishing up his recording, that same delicate voice comes back. This time, it quietly says bye, sending a chill straight through anyone listening carefully enough to catch it.
God is love. See you later.
David is adamant that he was completely alone inside that house while filming. He also emphasizes that he had never once spoken about ghost encounters or paranormal experiences before this incident, which makes the whole thing that much harder to dismiss. So the question remains, Did David accidentally record the presence of the little girl who lost her life in that very room? Or is this all just a deeply unsettling coincidence? A Reddit user going by the name Pokezilla King uploaded footage that seems to capture something deeply strange occurring on the lunar surface. The crater at the center of this mystery is Copernicus, a massive impact site situated in the eastern portion of Oceanus Procellarum. Named in honor of the astronomer Nicholas Copernicus, it measures approximately 93 kilometers across and is recognized for its striking ray system. Scientists believe it formed roughly 800 million years ago during what's referred to as the Copernican epoch. According to the person who posted this, the pulsing glow visible in the clip is emanating directly from that crater. Judge for yourself what's going on here. What we're looking at is a strange, reddish, flickering light that appears to originate from deep within the crater. The glow seems to throb and spread across a significant portion of the crater floor, and plenty of people in the Reddit comments were left speechless. Several users noted that the illuminated area looks like it spans almost the entire width of the crater. If this video is genuine, it's hard to deny how striking it is. Visible light activity coming from a lunar crater naturally invites all kinds of theories, ranging from unexplained geological events to far more out there possibilities. That said, a more rational interpretation is that what we're seeing could be atmospheric interference or a lens artifact produced by shooting the bright lunar surface at extreme zoom levels. Minor focus fluctuations can generate colored distortions that look as though they're coming from the moon itself. At this point, everything is still guesswork. Without additional data, pinning down exactly what's being recorded here is nearly impossible. Even so, after hundreds of years of observation, the moon still has a way of making us wonder what we're truly looking at when we gaze upward. Dallas locals have seen their share of odd happenings over the years, but one resident's home security system captured something that looked like it crawled straight out of a horror film. A ghostly, legless figure moved across the pavement below, except moved isn't quite the right word. It wasn't dragging itself along, it was floating. Its head and arms were working frantically as if it had somewhere urgent to be. The man brought his neighbor over to watch the footage, desperate for some kind of rational explanation, but nobody could make sense of what they were looking at. And ever since that night, that stretch of street carries a feeling that's hard to shake. This particular piece of photographic evidence comes from a Facebook user who goes by Unique Legacy, who says she and her family have been terrorized by these creatures right on their own property. By her account, multiple dogman-like entities have been making themselves known to those living there. What you're about to see is just one of several pieces of evidence she came forward with. Rising out of the darkness, a massive figure stands completely still, partially hidden behind the trunk of a tree. A pair of glowing eyes cut through the black of night, though only one is fully visible in the frame, staring directly into the lens. The body of this thing is enormous and strangely stretched, its shape bleeding into the surrounding shadows in the grainy footage, making it nearly impossible to determine where the creature ends and the darkness begins. It bears a striking resemblance to the classic image of a dogman, a half-human, half-canine entity complete with a dog-like snout, pointed ears, and those unmistakable reflective eyes. This image raises far more questions than it could ever hope to answer, but one thing seems undeniable. Whatever was standing out there that night knew exactly where the camera was, and it was not human. This next clip comes from a creator called Mac Adventures, someone who's passionate about motorcycles and road trips and documents pretty much everything on camera. In this particular video though, they found themselves in a situation that could have turned genuinely dangerous. They had chosen to return to a location they'd previously visited, somewhere they had absolutely no right or permission to be. The first visit went without incident, so naturally they figured they'd try their luck a second time. And as anyone could have predicted, when you keep tempting fate, things have a way of unraveling fast. Their destination was Area 51. Early on, a vehicle passed them by and seemed unbothered by their presence. That sense of calm didn't stick around for long.
Guess what, camo dudes? We're back! That is Sniper Hill up there. That is Sniper Hill. I can't believe we had actual camo dudes looking right at us. I'm turning mine off. That was crazy. What if that's because of our video? Wait, okay, guys. Oh, your camera's off.
It is?
Yeah, it's mine.
This is on.
Oh, okay, here we go. Okay, alright guys, you ready? You ready? When we were here last time, that was about 4 months ago.
The sign is hard to read because of how much the camera was shaking, but they'd actually snapped a photo of it on their previous visit. What it shows is enough to make your stomach drop. It explicitly states that deadly force is authorized. Let that sink in. And shortly after that moment, this is what unfolded.
Yours are still off. Whoa. Whoa. Uh-oh, we got things happening. I know, I am. Yeah.
Put your hands up. I'm not going to tell you again. Right. Turn around. You got him? I'll pat him down. You got it? Yeah. You got anything on you?
Nope.
No, sir.
I got a knife over here.
Huh?
So I'm using a knife
Any weapon?
cutting stuff.
Spread your feet. Spread your feet. What's going all the way out here?
We're just adventure travelers. We're just adventure travelers.
Just adventure travelers?
Yeah.
They said for us to
Turn around. Turn around.
We're down a little alien. They said come up to Stewart Well Road.
Yeah.
That's what everybody else does. Yeah, that's what everybody does.
We're gonna go past the line. We're turning around to head back to Little Alien for dinner.
We want to get a ruler out and talk about centimeters.
I knew you should. I know.
Listen, we're going to give you guys a chance, okay? Get on your bikes, get the out of here. We'll call Lincoln County, and they'll write you each a $750 ticket.
Okay.
We're out of here.
Thank you.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry for the hassle, guys. We're just travelers. My bad. All right, let's do it.
Look, a citation beats a bullet any day of the week, just being honest. Those officers were dead serious, and it was obvious they were fully prepared to escalate the situation had the riders not backed down immediately. These guys got off easy, but this whole thing serves as yet another reminder to give that area a wide berth. Armed personnel patrol it around the clock, so the smartest move is to never go near it in the first place. Once the video went up, they urged viewers to spread it as far and wide as possible, claiming they were being pressured to remove it. Now, whether that's true is hard to say, but they did go quiet on the channel not long after, with their most recent upload sitting at 9 years old. Whether outside pressure played a role or it was simply a personal choice remains unknown. What we do know is that they kept active on social media, so at the very least they're still out there. Alexander runs a channel called Smotri Suda, where he documents solo wilderness adventures and ventures into the unknown depths of the forest. On the night of July 29th, 2021, he was out alone beside his tent, working through a meal of fish when unsettling sounds began creeping in from the darkness around him.
What the hell is this? What the is this? What the is this? The is about to start. Oh.
Shrill, piercing calls rang out through the trees, unnerving in a way that was hard to explain, with a quality that just didn't sit right. The last light of the setting sun barely illuminated the landscape, and he still had no idea what was lurking out there or what could have produced those noises. He kept his guard up, muttering quietly to himself and fighting to stay composed as the surrounding forest seemed to close in on him. Every snapping twig sent a fresh wave of tension through his body, and it wasn't until morning finally broke that he allowed himself any real sense of relief. Nothing had been taken and nothing had come for him. Yet, the feeling that something in those woods had its eyes fixed on him never quite went away. A group of hunters stumbled upon a video camera abandoned in the forest, believed to have belonged to a hiker who had gone missing. Driven by curiosity, they picked it up and played back the footage, and what they saw left them completely shaken. As the hiker made his way deeper into the wilderness, he was suddenly stopped in his tracks by a deep, threatening growl rumbling through the surrounding trees. He shook it off, telling himself it was nothing more than his mind getting the better of him. What he didn't know was that something dangerous was lurking just up ahead, biding its time. Without warning, an unidentified creature launched an attack on him, and the terror in his voice was unmistakable. The camera slipped from his grasp and hit the ground, right where those hunters would eventually come across it. To this day, what truly became of that hiker remains completely unknown. Our next unsettling story comes from a group called Pandemonium, who had set up camp on a remote stretch of BLM land somewhere in the United States. The location was secluded, hemmed in by thick forest, with the soft murmur of a river somewhere nearby. The camp was still and cold, but what happened that night would test the limits of their composure and leave everyone in the group badly shaken. It was December 3rd, 2017, when they made camp, with no idea that their night was about to be thrown into chaos by a disoriented stranger wandering erratically through their sight.
So not sure if you all can hear, but I'm not sure if he's drunk or he's just mentally unwell. But there's a guy just walking through base camp cussing. I mean, like, severely cussing. You probably can hear him. He's also kind of not making any sense. It's kind of freaky, weird, and creepy. Yeah, did you hear that crazy guy screaming?
Do you have your camera?
Huh?
Do you have your camera?
I do.
Your cell phone.
I caught him earlier. He was just, I mean, he started.
You got him on camera?
Well, I didn't really get. I got him screaming because he started on that end over where the guys were,
right?
And then he made his way over here, and he was just, and he was like, he sat down and he was screaming, cussing, and then I was like, I don't know if he's.
He's right at the bottom.
What?
He's where?
From my van.
Oh, he is.
Towards the river.
Oh.
Right next to your van. Where those rolls were.
So yeah, it was weird. He just was screaming.
Yes.
Was he right by your van?
When I looked up first, he was like here.
He was by my van, then he was right between us here.
Oh yeah, because but he started way down there, and then he moved his way.
Yeah, but I was trying to get their attention, then you just turned off.
But it seemed like he just kind of quieted down. So have you heard
Probably
it?
passed out. Yeah. I haven't heard anything for 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
He was making noises still over there.
Oh, was
like,
he?
Oh, like he's puking, maybe?
I mean, I don't know.
So he was wasted.
what
I didn't know if he was like mentally ill or if he was wasted.
He's
He might
either on drugs
schizophrenic.
or really, schizophrenic or really drunk. Because I thought I heard him throwing up before he started screaming.
Oh, really?
Down there. First I heard a girl screaming.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah.
I think that was him.
No, I heard a girl scream.
He was
long
doing
before
different
this
voices.
He was doing different
He was like
voices.
talking to himself.
Yeah, he was talking. He was like
talking to himself.
Yeah, the whole time he was talking
Like
to
yelling.
himself. He would tell himself to, like, yeah.
Well, I heard a woman screaming,
Uh-huh.
like probably 15 minutes before this started.
Right.
That he may have heard her, and then he was screaming at her to get up.
Okay.
You mean we're up because he's practicing a comedy routine?
Yeah.
Or losing his mind.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure he's lost it.
Did anybody call the cops?
They're down
Yeah,
there.
they're down there.
Oh, the cops are down there.
But the guy is right here, and I just got out of my
Try to
van.
get their attention. I'll call that.
Where's he at?
He's down here.
Oh.
Just straight down the little path next to my van.
Oh. He didn't go into the river, did he?
He's right by the river.
Oh.
Hi, can I get
I stand behind you.
or the county sheriff, La Paz? Thank you.
Lord have mercy.
Did you hear that?
What? I hear some rustling in the
rustling,
bushes, but
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard bushes crackling.
Coming through the woods right there.
God, it's so. Oh, here, let me light up the subject. They're walking down there too. See if they can find the cops. So the cops are here already?
Yeah. Hi. I'm at the incident down on BLM land in Ehrenberg. Can you tell the deputies that...
The man moved through the campground in an aimless daze, talking to himself and occasionally screaming out into the darkness. He looped around the camp in no particular pattern, getting uncomfortably close to their van and equipment. The group held back but kept their eyes locked on him, tracking his every move and debating how to handle things. It didn't take long for the situation to deteriorate enough that they picked up the phone and called law enforcement. Before long, beams of light were slicing through the tree line as officers made their way in. They approached the man carefully and deliberately.
Man.
Just crazy.
In fact, that's what it says. I'm sure I said he's right by Jimmy's van.
Okay. Hope we get his murder on tape.
I had my gun in my hand, honey.
Oh, thank
I got your back.
Oh, is he? Okay. It's cold.
It is cold. I was sleeping really nicely.
I wasn't. I was editing.
I wasn't. I was trying to sleep, but I haven't slept.
I got a text from Fiona saying don't go outside your van.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was right by your van.
Oh, you hadn't woken up yet until you
I
got
think
the
I was,
text?
but I was sort of like, what the fuck is this? Lying in bed.
Oh, I'm shivering. It's cold.
I called Trisha and said, "Don't get out of your van,
I know.
whatever you do."
Yeah, because it's pitch.
I got my phone turned off.
Yeah, it's pitch black, and he's screaming at the top of his lungs, so it's kind of creepy in a
Yeah.
way.
Well, I could see him, but my phone couldn't.
Lord.
Ooh, I'm
Oh,
just
you
thinking.
should see this cop, the one that got out of the truck.
Uh-huh.
Ken doll.
Oh.
Hubba. As Mike says, did you get the vapors?
I was just thinking. I saw that blood down there too.
Oh, you think he hurt
Remember
himself?
I said that to you? Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, it wasn't from today. It was dry.
Right.
It's all over the rocks down there, and there's
Yeah, they found him.
paper towels.
I don't know. We'll
It looks like
see.
blood.
Well, I hear them talking to him.
Talking to somebody.
Yeah, so.
He was like not exactly laying, but kind of slouched over the
Right.
ground. Maybe he's hurt himself.
Lord.
It didn't look like he had a shirt on. I don't even know if he
No.
had shoes on.
It didn't look
Well, at one time he said something about pooping his pants or something. He was just talking to himself. I was
He
like,
said something about HIV too.
oh, jeez.
And something about her cheating on him. And something about his mom.
Oh.
It was like he was yelling at his mom about HIV, whether she has HIV or he has
Oh,
HIV.
Lord.
Or...
Where's Dr. Phil when you need him?
I know, right?
or if his cheating
Where's my
girlfriend.
hoodie?
So, yeah, if they didn't help him up, then he must be either hurt down there or something.
But one of them would have stayed with him if he was hurt.
Oh, yeah. Then why did they just come back up without him? That's weird. I know. That's weird.
I know. They handcuffed him to a rock and saw him tell him to raise the river.
First of all, thank you for calling us. We appreciate it. She's gonna be leaving there shortly. She's gonna be returning to her campsite for the evening.
Oh, that's a woman?
Yes.
Oh.
I have no
Sound
idea
like
it was
a
a
guy.
woman.
No, well, there was a male subject that was down there with her. Yeah, I guess he left. He's driving a white Jeep. He went into town. So we're gonna see if we can't find him. And
That's not true.
No,
That's not true.
Yeah, that happened long before we heard anything.
She's been here by herself the whole time.
Okay.
Screaming
Well,
at
she,
somebody that wasn't there.
Right. She has a history of drug use.
Lord.
She is a local from the area, but she does state that they are camping down the river a little ways. She plans on returning to that campsite here shortly. I let her know that if there's any more outbursts, any more screaming noises, whatever like that, we'll come back out and then she'll be transported and be living with us. So, as it sits right now, we're going to go try to find him, make sure he's okay, and
Yeah, there was nobody here. Serious.
just one person's always right. Well, still, if she says he was here, I got to try to find him. That's because if for whatever reason he was here and he's hurt or something, and I don't at least try to find him, then obviously that's an issue on our part. So, do you have any other questions?
All right.
Bizarre.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you giving us
Thanks, y'all.
Have a good night.
I guess I'll move my hand.
Lord. I know, right? All right, everybody. Well, that was our dilemma tonight. We'll see ya. Bye.
Even with police on scene, he kept yelling nonsensically and drifting toward the campsite. His behavior was volatile, impossible to predict, and occasionally threatening. The group continued recording from a safe remove, staying out of the way as the tense standoff played out in front of them. After what felt like an eternity, officers finally managed to get him under control and escort him out of the area. The whole ordeal was a stark wake-up call. Out in the wilderness, it's not always something lurking in the shadows that poses the greatest threat. Sometimes the most frightening thing is a stranger who steps out of the dark without warning. The following clip was recorded by Kyle, and if you've been following this channel for a while, then you already know he's no stranger to strange activity. Over the past few years, Kyle has dealt with more than his fair share of unexplained moments inside his home. But this year started off unusually quiet. Well, that didn't last. It began with the sound of children giggling, first in the attic, then the basement. Now, whatever is in the house seems to have moved again, this time to the utility room in his garage. Kyle says he's been hearing loud bangs, noticing lights flickering, and every time the noise suddenly stops, he feels compelled to check it out. And this is what he keeps finding. Watch.
shit. It's a... That was up there. So was this. What the fuck? I mean, there's no animal in here. I'm scared out of my mind. I was in the kitchen. I just started hearing the craziest commotion out here in the garage, and this is the result. There's no raccoon in here or anything. I mean, there's nothing that could have done this.
Whenever Kyle opens the door, the room is in complete disarray. Items scattered, things knocked over, yet there's no one there. At first, Kyle wondered if it could be an animal, but that theory quickly falls apart. What kind of animal could create that level of mess, reach those heights, and still leave no signs behind? And animals don't usually cause electrical interference, so why was the light flickering? Until Kyle shares more updates about what's happening in his home, and whether the activity spreads even further, this situation remains completely unsolved. This next video is about a woman named Jennifer, who owns a beautiful historic home dating all the way back to 1907, filled with antique pieces that go as far back as 1903. At first glance, the house looks warm, elegant, and full of character, but not long after moving in, Jennifer began experiencing things she couldn't explain, things that slowly became impossible to ignore. She started hearing footsteps when no one else was around, faint whispering, objects shifting on their own, and shadows moving just outside her field of vision. What makes this even more unsettling is what Jennifer later discovered. After speaking with a local historian, she learned that when the house was built, there were no nearby hospitals, and it's believed that at least 4 people died inside the home. Deaths that likely occurred under stressful, emotional circumstances, the kind many believe can leave a lasting imprint on a place. And based on Jennifer's previous clips, a lot of viewers already suspected the house itself was the source. One evening, just as Jennifer was about to sit down for dinner, when she suddenly started hearing strange noises coming from inside the house. Watch.
I'm hearing a few things. It's like 4:45, so I'm just gonna listen and see if I can catch anything. Okay, I thought I just heard music. I want to go up on this landing and see if I can hear it better. Okay, well, listen up here. I seriously feel like I'm hearing people like have a conversation. No one's here but me. Oh my gosh. I'm hearing movement down there. And then I heard something up here. Do you hear that? It sounds like music. Well, it's the usual dinner time activity. I'm gonna play it back and see if I caught anything.
What makes this clip so disturbing is how much people claim they heard. Some say there's soft humming, others hear a loud knock, while many insist they can clearly make out a man's voice saying, "I'm fine." A few even believe they hear faint music, and the most chilling part, none of these sounds appear to have a clear source. After watching the clip, people couldn't agree on one explanation, only that something about it doesn't feel right. What did you hear? And do you think this house is holding on to the past, or something inside it becoming aware of the people living there now? The following video was captured by a man who has repeatedly mentioned that it's not his house that's haunted, and honestly, you can't blame anyone for thinking otherwise. He shared disturbing experiences for months, waking up in the middle of the night feeling like something is choking him, pressing down on his neck. His cameras have recorded violent growling voices, sudden aggressive slams, and sounds that feel angry rather than curious. To anyone watching, it all screams one thing: a haunted house. But then something happened that changed everything. Hoping to get some peace, he decided to take a short vacation and sleep at a hotel, completely away from his home. Before going to bed that night, he set up his camera, just in case, and something did happen. Watch. The curtains moving weren't the most unsettling part of the footage. If you look closely, you'll notice a dark shadow moving across the room, pacing back and forth. Seeing this made him believe he wasn't dealing with a simple haunting anymore, but an attachment. And given how violent and aggressive the activity has been, many believe it could be something far darker. Some even suggest a demonic presence, especially considering the physical attacks and the way it appears during his most vulnerable moments, when he's asleep. So is this proof that something has attached itself to him, or is there another explanation people are overlooking? You decide. In this next video, a man had been home alone for about 4 hours when he suddenly heard a voice calling out to him. A voice that sounded exactly like his mother's. The problem? His mom wasn't home, so who was talking? Watch closely. Whatever was outside wasn't just calling randomly. It was trying to get him to respond, or worse, open the door. But instead of answering, he knew what to do and stayed completely silent. When it comes to encounters like this, knowing what not to do is everything. People familiar with mimics say they often start by using a trusted voice, a parent, a partner, someone you'd never ignore. And if that doesn't work, they switch tactics. In this case, the voice suddenly changed, morphing into something far more distorted and terrifying. The calm voice is the bait. The aggressive tone comes when it realizes fear is the only tool left. The goal is to provoke a reaction, any reaction, because once you respond, some believe you've given it exactly what it wants. That's why the #1 rule with suspected mimics is this: do not answer, do not open doors, do not engage, no asking questions or trying to confirm who it is. Silence is protection. If you've ever had an experience with something calling your name when no one was there, now's the time to share. Now, in this next video, a guy named Nate has been dealing with increasingly disturbing activity inside his home. At first, it only happened at night. Objects flying across his kitchen, including a knife, something repeatedly peeking from his basement, and his dog refusing to go anywhere near certain parts of the house. But now, it's no longer confined to the dark. Watch closely.
I keep hearing walking going on in the dining room. Sound like at one point it was going up the stairs, then to the kitchen or the basement, but there's literally no. Holy Jesus. Did you see it? Where'd it go? Where is it? I keep hearing these steps. All right, that one just jumped up. That one just jumped up.
In paranormal cases, unexplained footsteps are often believed to be a sign of manifestation. Combined with the earlier knife incident, the persistent peeking, and his dog's refusal to enter certain areas, many viewers believe the activity is escalating rather than fading. So until more updates are shared, Nate's situation remains deeply unsettling and completely unsolved. The following video was recorded by a woman who says she had been seeing a shadowy figure moving through her house all morning. At first, she ignored it, watching it pass from room to room, never fully revealing itself. But after hours of this, curiosity got the better of her. She decided to follow it. Watch what happened next.
What is doing that? Yeah, are you playing music for me? Are you going to do it again? Yeah, thank you. I love your music. You can keep playing. You gonna do some more? The funny thing is, I have been seeing your shadow walking around all day, and now you want to play music? Can you do one more tune? Goodbye. Thank you.
What disturbed people the most wasn't the sound, it was her reaction. That level of comfort made many viewers uneasy. Some speculate the figure she followed was trying to lead her somewhere. Others believe the spirit used the keyboard, a child's toy, to communicate in the safest way it could. And a more troubling theory suggests something else entirely, that whatever is in the house no longer needs to, but I'll leave you to be the judge of this one. In this next video, a group of men decided to explore what they believed was just another abandoned house. For the first few minutes, everything seemed ordinary. Crumbling walls, broken furniture, fragments of a life that had clearly been left behind years ago. But that illusion didn't last long. Watch closely.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Allah, la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin, la ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin.
The moment this happened, they started praying. Across many cultures and belief systems, prayer is believed to act as a form of spiritual protection, not because it removes danger instantly, but because it creates a barrier. A way of grounding oneself, calling for protection, and rejecting whatever presence may be trying to intimidate or attach itself. especially in situations where the intention of the entity is unknown. Now, to the part many people forget. Abandoned places aren't always empty. Some are simply forgotten, others are believed to be cursed, or worse, occupied by something that never left. Now, in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the infamous Boyd house. This time, his focus shifts to something even more unsettling: the possibility that the spirits of Fred and Minnie's children may still be present. Earlier in the investigation, Ian captured what sounded like a child's voice, and now he wants answers. Watch closely.
Are you hiding? You don't have to be afraid. I bet I can find you. You playing hide and seek? Show me your hiding spot. Show me where you are. Whoa, whoa. Dude. I think I just caught something. Over there. Behind the camera. Let me take another one. Oh my gosh, dude, and it's gone. Dude, something just appeared right over here. Hello? That was weird. Yeah, and it's completely gone. I'm not catching anything else. Oh, dude, that was so cool. It looked like a type of small mist figure by the window, and it was short like a little kid.
Near the window, a small mist-like figure begins to form. It's low to the ground, much shorter than an adult, almost child-sized, and at first it looks like nothing more than a faint cloud. But when the footage is examined more closely, something disturbing starts to appear. You can make out what looks like two eyes, a nose, and a mouth forming within the mist. Ian decides to try again, repositioning himself and raising the camera, hoping to see if the figure will reappear, but something else happens. Watch.
It's okay. I think I found your hiding spot. You're hiding behind my tripod. Could you appear like that again? I'm gonna take another one. Dude, they were literally standing, like right here. Right in this area. Oh my gosh. Whoa, okay. Oh my god, dude. That scared me. There was a loud thumping sound. Okay, I hear you. It's draining my camera too. I literally just put a new battery in. Look at that. It's already draining. Battery. That definitely makes a lot of sense.
Many investigators believe that spirits, especially residual or intelligent ones, draw energy from electronic devices in order to manifest. Cameras die, batteries drop without warning, and equipment shuts down at the worst possible moment. Whether what Ian captured was one of the Boyd children, or something else entirely trying to present itself as one, remains unclear. But that house is anything but empty. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video is about a lady named Savannah, who's now in serious need of help, because it's starting to look like she's living through a real-life paranormal phenomenon. For months, she's been dealing with things she can't explain: footsteps pacing around her room late at night, objects disappearing and reappearing in different places, her closet door cracking open on its own, and the overwhelming sensation that someone is standing right beside her whenever she tries to fall asleep. But things escalated the night she swore she felt something sit on her chest while she slept. And what truly pushed her to her breaking point was when she heard something in the darkness, mimicking her voice, calling her cat. She screamed, thinking she was losing her mind. Then she eventually set up cameras. What you're about to see is a compilation from different nights, everything her camera captured. Watch.
What?
Some nights, small objects would shift and slide across the room as if nudged by invisible hands. Other nights, something would crawl underneath her blanket, pressing against her legs as she slept. There were moments where her cat would freeze, stare at the corner of the room, and suddenly jump as if something tried to pick it up. And on the worst nights, she'd wake up feeling a tight pressure around her foot, like something was slowly trying to pull her off the bed. She's already blessed her room, she's placed crosses around her apartment, she's tried cleansing, prayers, everything. But whatever is there doesn't seem to care. Now she's asking for help, because at this point, she's genuinely afraid of what might happen next. If you have any suggestions, now's the time to share. Who knows, your comment might be the solution she's been searching for. In this next clip, a paranormal investigator decided to explore an old crematorium, and after what he experienced there, he says he won't be going back anytime soon. Watch this.
This is crazy.
Crematoriums already have a chilling history. These are places where countless families said their final goodbyes. Places where bodies are prepared, tagged, and stored before the final process. And in older crematoriums, especially those that have been shut down for years, many say the air never really loses that heaviness, as if the walls themselves remember everything they've seen. Some former workers claim that late at night, before closure, they'd hear metal trays shifting on their own, or doors to the furnace room slamming despite no draft. Others swear that once a body is cremated, the spirit doesn't always follow immediately. Sometimes it lingers, confused, or attached to the place where its physical form spent its final moments. Strange noises in an abandoned building are one thing, but inside a crematorium, with that history, this is the kind of place you enter once, and then decide it's better not to return. Now, in this next video, a mother named Christy has been dealing with something that's starting to unsettle her in ways she can't explain. For days now, she's noticed a strange pattern. She'll be talking to her little boy, something simple, everyday conversations, and suddenly he'll stop mid-sentence, freeze, and stare off toward a very specific part of the house. No blinking, no reacting. almost like he's watching something move that she can't see. At first, she brushed it off as childish distraction, saying kids zone out all the time. But it kept happening, and each time his eyes went to the same direction. One evening, while she was prepping dinner, he did it again, only this time, he wouldn't stop pointing toward the dining room, repeating the same thing over and over with a strange calmness that made her skin crawl. Watch this.
Where's the ghost?
Look at it.
What do you see?
I see something in the dining room.
What is
I
it?
see something in the dining room.
Where is it?
You're too.
I don't see it.
I'm opening it. It's the hat. See, look, I'm opening it. You is one.
What?
You is one.
There's what?
You is.
What'd you see?
Next to my side.
What?
Next to my side on the hat. To my side on the hat. To my side on the hat.
It's okay.
I see a vacuum pudding on a. I see a vacuum pudding in a hat.
You see what?
A vacuum pudding in a hat.
Imagine your own child saying something like that, with that kind of certainty. Christy finally took him to the dining room to figure out exactly where this thing was supposed to be. It turned out to be a picture hanging on the wall. But here's the part that's confusing her the most. That picture has been there for months. He's walked past it hundreds of times, eaten dinner right across from it, played near it. And it has never bothered him, so why now? Some people think kids are naturally more sensitive, and maybe he's suddenly picking up on something attached to the photo, an energy, a memory, or a presence that wasn't active before. Whatever the case is, something about that picture has clearly changed. And until she gets more answers, this one remains unsolved. The following video was captured outside an Argentinian hospital. A man had just finished visiting someone and was heading back to his car when he suddenly heard a loud bang. Thinking maybe someone needed help or that something had fallen, he walked toward the sound. But when he got there, the place was completely empty. So he headed back to his car, and that's when he noticed this. Watch.
Estamos en este momento en el microhospital, escuchamos un golpe y nos dimos vuelta porque dijimos, bueno, ¿quién está entrando? Cuestión de que no hay nadie atrás nuestro. Y miramos dentro del auto y dijimos, oh, pues si el auto... ¿Qué mierda es? Lo peor de todo es que no queremos salir. O sea, no... Un miedo, la puta madre. Lo peor de todo es que se mueve adentro el auto y no hay nadie. O sea, ahora vamos a ir a controlar el auto. Pero parece como si fuese un reflejo. La puta madre. No, huevo. Ya, salimos rápido para que vean que no es mentira. Mamá, la piel de gallina, hermano. Piel de gallina. Cagazo. Nadie. 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 Un montón. Es un montón. Mierda. Y encima nos mira, la puta que te parió. No, chabón. No. Desapareció. La concha.
The moment he saw what was sitting in the back seat, you can tell his entire body reacted. When he lifted his arm to the camera, you could literally count each hair standing straight up. That's not something you fake, that's a full body fear response. But what really got people talking were the details, especially the movement of the face. Whatever was in that car wasn't a reflection, and it definitely wasn't a person hiding inside, because he didn't even take the camera off the car until he reached for the door. And when the head suddenly ducked behind the driver's seat, yeah, reflections don't do that. Now, here's where this gets even more unsettling. This didn't happen in just any location. It happened right outside a hospital, a place where people pass on, where emotions run heavy, where many believe spirits linger the longest before moving on. So the real question is, what exactly entered that car? And why did it wait until he was alone? This one remains a mystery. Now, in this next clip, a lady's dog has been acting out ever since she got a new truck. At first, she thought it was nothing. Maybe he just wasn't familiar with the sound or smell. But the more she paid attention, the more unsettling things became. Have a look.
What is it? What is it? But there's nothing over here.
After watching this clip, some people said it could be the tires. Maybe the rubber was warm, maybe the scent was strange to him. But then a different wave of comments rolled in, questions that made the whole situation feel a lot darker. People started asking whether the truck was actually new, if she knew anything about the previous owners, or if the truck had ever been involved in an accident, because dogs don't usually whine like that unless they're reacting to something they don't understand, or something we can't see. She eventually came forward with an update that surprised everyone. The truck is brand new and she's already checked underneath, inside, and around the engine for any animals or signs of something stuck. Yet, Titus still behaves like this. She also revealed that ever since she brought the truck home, Titus has never agreed to get inside, not even once, and honestly, the comments weren't helping either. People began warning her that dogs can sense what humans can't, and that her dog might be reacting to a dangerous spirit attached to the vehicle. Some even went as far as saying that if she doesn't get it blessed, she could end up in an accident. One morning, Titus wanted to check the garage again, barking and whining in a way she'd never seen before, so she followed him, camera in hand, and here's what she caught. At this point, she has no idea what she's dealing with anymore. And honestly, none of the explanations so far feel comforting. So what do you think? Is Titus reacting to the smell of the tires? Is there a spirit attached to the truck? Or is there something else we're missing? Something that ties all these events together? Now, this next video captures something most people fear more than any regular haunting: a mimic. Mimics are the type of entities people describe as intelligent, calculating, and frighteningly good at imitating the voices of people you know and trust, usually to lure you closer or get you to respond. One afternoon, a lady was home completely alone when she suddenly heard this coming from inside her house. Watch.
Are you there, honey? Open the door for mommy. Bella. Hello. Bella.
The moment people heard that voice, the comment section exploded. Not because of the sound itself, but because of the way she reacted. She didn't panic, she didn't call out, she didn't ask who's there. She stayed absolutely silent. And for good reason. Because when it comes to mimics, the #1 rule everyone repeats is, do not respond. Responding means you're already playing its game. So the fact that she stayed completely quiet is what everyone agrees might have kept this from going much further. Now, in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his exploration at Bonanzaville, an open-air museum made up of old, fully preserved historic buildings from different eras of North Dakota. In the last video we posted, Ian entered the Telephone Museum, but this time he went to the Brass Rail Saloon in the Page Hotel, said to be one of the most active buildings on the entire property. Built in 1889, this place used to be a bustling stop for travelers. Food, liquor, music, rooms upstairs, the whole deal. But today, it's known for something else entirely. Voices that shouldn't exist, footsteps pacing empty rooms, and unexplained noises that seem to follow anyone who dares explore the second floor alone. Watch this.
Could you do that again? If there's anyone in here, I invite you to come sit with me. I just want to get to know some of the people that are here. I hear that there's a lot of spirits in this building. Could you walk up to this table and sit down with me? I mean, I didn't bring any cards or anything, but I mean, if you've got some, I don't know if you can in the afterlife, but feel free to sit on this table here. Whoa. I just heard that chair move. Holy moly.
Unfortunately, he had his infrared light pointing directly at the camera, making the chair in front of him impossible to see. But the moment he stepped out of that room, something else happened.
Is there anybody in here?
Whoa. That came from in there.
I think I might have heard somebody in here. Is there anyone in here?
Whoa. Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not gonna run. Did you just tap on that bed?
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. That scared the living daylights out of me. Holy moly. Dude, that was a freaking voice. I heard it so clear on this voice recorder. Oh, it was a female. It was a female voice.
Ian was almost convinced there had to be someone else inside the building with him, but the footage says it all. He was completely alone. So the question is, who or what answered Ian that night? And why is her voice still echoing through a building that hasn't hosted a living guest in over a century? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a family lives on a street where something unsettling has become routine. Almost every night, right around 3 a.m., all the dogs on the street begin barking and howling at once. Not one or two, but every dog, reacting as if something unseen is moving through the area. Most families say that when they peek through their windows, they see nothing at all. No people, no animals, nothing out of place. Yet some neighbors wake up in the morning to find footprints outside their homes, even though security cameras never capture anyone walking by. One morning, the man in this video was home alone when he started hearing strange noises coming from his kitchen. Watch.
Pati fue a dejar a Rafita y escuché que alguien anda allá abajo. No estoy seguro, pero creo que la luz de la cocina está prendida o se prendió. Voy a ver qué onda. Ahorita estoy solito. No manches, creo que sí está prendida. Ay, güey, sí está prendida. Yo la apagué, les juro que yo la apagué cuando salí del baño. Y de hecho la puerta estaba cerrada. Hola. ¿Alguien está ahí? Hey. Hola.
Toward the end of the video, a disturbing grunt and something wailing can be heard. That's when the family realized that whatever had been triggering the dogs at 3 a.m. might no longer be confined to the street. On another morning, the same man went down to use the bathroom when this happened. Watch closely. The sound of footsteps can be heard, almost rhythmic, like someone moving or dancing just out of view. Some believe this could be a roaming entity, something that doesn't stay in one place and instead moves through neighborhoods, passing from street to street, home to home. Others think the constant attention this family has been giving it, watching, talking, reacting, may have unintentionally drawn whatever it was closer, allowing it to shift from the street into their house. But before things escalate any further, the family is now actively seeking answers. So what do you think? Was this always heading toward their home? Or did noticing it invite something inside? Now, in this next video, a man who works night shifts at a school shares a story that slowly turns unsettling. Part of his job is simple but strict. Before leaving, he must switch off every light, check the restrooms, make sure no taps are running, and confirm the building is completely empty. But one morning, he gets a call saying several lights were left on, along with a tap running. Confused, because he knows he checked everything, he starts documenting his routine. Night after night, he records himself turning off the lights and walking out. Yet, somehow by morning, the lights are back on again. As word spreads, teachers and staff begin opening up about strange things they've noticed over the years, doors opening on their own, and sounds echoing through empty halls. But one detail stands out above the rest. Multiple people claim they've seen a young girl wandering the hallways at odd hours, usually when everyone should be in class. One night, while recording his final walkthrough, something happens that seems to connect everything. Watch closely.
Bueno, miren, en esta área es donde supuestamente miran a una niña o han visto una niña. Tanto maestros como otros trabajadores de aquí del lugar dicen que miran una niña. ¿Escucharon eso? ¿Escucharon? Entonces... ¡Uy, güey! Vámonos. Vámonos.
If you focus on the left side at the end of the hallway, something appears to peek out, then vanish. Moments later, he begins to hear things, like someone else is there with him. Now he's left wondering, was the girl teachers have been seeing the one turning the lights back on all this time? And if so, who is she and why is she still there? Until more updates are shared, this case remains completely unsolved. The following video is a throwback to a chilling moment caught during a camping trip in the Appalachian Mountains. A man is resting when he suddenly hears a voice calling his name. At first, it sounds familiar, too familiar. But what makes this unsettling is that the voice belongs to his brother, a brother who passed away 2 years before this video was recorded. Watch closely.
Ryan, open up.
Who is this?
Ryan, I'm your little brother.
No, you're not.
Ryan, come on, open up.
What is that?
Unlock the door, Ryan. Come on, Ryan.
What's strange is how calm and direct the voice sounds. It clearly claims to be his brother, calls him by name, and even asks him to open the door. The Appalachian Mountains are already known for unexplained disappearances, strange lights, mimic voices, and people reporting the feeling of being watched for hours at a time. Some think whatever spoke that night wasn't trying to comfort him, but trying to gain access. Others believe it could have been something feeding off grief, using his brother's voice as a way in. Whatever it was, the Appalachians continue to be one of the most mysterious places in the world, with stories like this surfacing again and again. And if you've ever experienced something strange out there, you're definitely not alone. This next video was captured inside a family home where, for several nights in a row, they'd been hearing the unmistakable sound of footsteps moving outside their windows. Not pacing randomly, but slowly, deliberately, like someone circling the house, stopping, then continuing again. At first, they brushed it off, thinking it might be a neighbor or an animal passing through. But the sounds kept returning, always late at night, always close to their windows. Eventually, when it started again one night, the mother decided to call the police. While waiting for them to arrive, the footsteps grew closer, and then came the knocking. That's when she grabbed her phone and caught this. Have a look.
Regina, están tocando. Pedro. Ya le hablé a la policía. Y ahorita va a venir. Tráeme un palo, Regina. Tráeme algo, tráeme algo. Va a venir ahorita la policía. Corre. ¿A qué estás molestando aquí? Ya te habías ido. ¿Qué quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A quién quieres? ¿A Regina o a quién quieres?
¿Cómo que a mí?
¿A quién quieres? Vete de aquí. Vete de aquí. Se paró. ¿Quién chingados eres? ¿Quién te mandó?
By the time the police arrived, the house was completely silent. No movement, no sounds, no one outside. The only proof that anything had happened at all was the video she recorded. After this clip circulated online, many viewers began connecting the dots. Some speculated the house may have once belonged to someone who never truly left, pointing out how the activity started with footsteps circling the property, almost like someone retracing familiar ground. Whatever it was, it didn't seem lost, but until more answers surface, this encounter remains deeply unsettling and unresolved. In this next video, a man shares what he describes as some of the most extreme paranormal activity he's ever experienced inside his home. For weeks, things haven't felt right. Objects shift overnight, doors are found open when he knows he shut them, and heavy footsteps echo through the house long after everyone should be asleep. Some nights, the atmosphere feels so tense that he says it's hard to even breathe properly, like the air itself is pressing in on him. One night, he started hearing strange noises, so he grabs his camera and decides to follow the sound, hoping to finally catch whatever's been disturbing him. Watch closely.
Si están escuchando ruidos acá, ahí dejaron de hablar. Hace días que vengo escuchando ruidos acá. Ya no sé cómo... Se cayó de acá un botín. Ya igual a estas alturas miedo ya no tengo. Concha de su madre. Esos hijos de puta. El coche yo no lo dejo ahí aparte. Siempre aparece el coche en cualquier lado. Ya no sé qué. Hijo de puta. Benji, vení acá. Vení, Benji, acá. Se me desvanecen las piernas ya. Ya no sé cómo vivir. Benjamín, vení conmigo. No te vayas, vení. Quédate acá. Quédate acá. Deja de ladrar, quédate acá. ¿A dónde estás mirando, Benjamín? Vení acá, Benjamín. Andate, hijo de puta.
What makes this even more unsettling is that his dog often reacts first, waking him up by barking at empty corners, growling at doorways, and refusing to enter certain rooms. And now, with the figure he catches standing in the doorway, it feels like whatever has been hiding in his house for a long time may have finally revealed itself. Whether this is something paranormal or something far more disturbing, one thing is clear: he's not alone, and for now, this remains a mystery. In the following video, a man says his young daughter has been insisting that her doll moves on its own, even when she isn't touching it. At first, he brushes it off as imagination, until she keeps bringing it up, describing the doll turning or shifting when she's not in the room. Wanting to put the claims to rest, he decides to test it himself. He places the doll on a flat surface, sets up a camera, and stays nearby to make sure nothing interferes. Watch closely. After the video surfaced, many were quick to say someone must have pulled it with a string or something, but the man insists he was home alone at the time and standing directly in front of the doll when it happened. No strings, no pets, no one else in the room. That's when speculation starts pouring in. Some believe it could be a delayed mechanical shift inside the doll. Others argue that unexplained movement is often one of the earliest signs people report before activity escalates. So was it a trick of physics, or something reacting to being watched? You decide. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian continues his investigation inside the historic Mabel Tainter Memorial Theater. Earlier that night, he captured a brief but chilling moment. A pale figure, believed to be the infamous woman in white, peeking out from behind the curtain. Shaken but focused, Ian decides it's best to call it a night. But just as he's wrapping up his video, something unexpected happens. Watch closely.
And, what the f? That was a piano. I was about ready to stop recording. Hello? Oh, there it is. That's the piano. I just heard that. But look at this thing, it's completely shut. How could that happen? It's not one of those player pianos, is it? I doubt it. This thing looks ancient. What does that say? Mabel's piano? What? No freaking way, this is her piano. That is insane. Holy shit, and I just heard it.
After hearing this, a disturbing thought hits him. For years, locals have whispered that Mabel herself still lingers here, especially near the piano. Some believe she appears when investigators are about to leave, as if she doesn't want to be alone again. But instead of assuming, he decides to ask directly. Watch what happens next.
Could you play a song? I bet you're an amazing piano player. I tell you what, if you play one single note, I will be satisfied. If you could just play one single note. Oh my God! I just saw that! That was that key! Oh, holy shit! She's literally playing the piano! Thank you so much, Mabel. That was that key right there. That was the key right there she just played.
Whether this was Mabel reaching back through time or something else entirely remains up for debate. But moments like this are why the Mabel Tainter continues to be one of the most chilling locations Ian has ever explored. For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a group of ghost hunters who decided to explore an abandoned house after several reports suggested something dark was attached to the property. From the moment they stepped inside, they described the atmosphere as heavy, tense, and almost hostile. The kind of place where silence doesn't feel empty, but watchful. Believing the presence to be malevolent, they began praying, hoping to protect themselves and possibly force whatever was there to reveal itself. But according to many paranormal beliefs, prayer doesn't always bring peace. Some say it agitates negative entities, almost like shining a light on something that wants to stay hidden. Watch what happens next.
Bun. Ești sigur? Da. Hai, uite acum zic. Ia. Cred în bunul Dumnezeu Tatăl Altotțiitorul, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului.
Oprește-te, oprește! Băi, Alin, uite alea cum fac bilile toate trei.
Știu unde am rămas.
Ea nu va pleca.
Da, știu când va pleca. Tatăl al tot țiitorului, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului,
care pretutindenea ești și pe toate le împlinești. Vistierul bunătăților și dătătorule de viață, vino și ne slăzășluiește întru noi și ne cu toată închinăciunea. Băi, nebunilor, băi!
Fai de capul meu!
Ce s-o sparg? Nu s-o sparg nimic. Cum să spargă ceva?
Frate, nimic nu.
Doamne ferește. Dar ce să spargă?
Hai de capul meu!
Dar nu se vede.
Mi-e frică, nu mai fă, frate, că murim.
Păi da, bine că s-o auzit spart, dar nu-i spart nimic. Deci vă asigur eu că nu-i spart nimic. Ce să fie spart?
Dau ardă aici că mâini, că nu-i jali, măi.
Viewers believe this reaction suggests the presence felt threatened, not comforted by the prayers. Others argue that prayer can act as a form of confrontation, drawing attention from entities that feed on fear or resistance. Whatever the case, the timing is hard to ignore, but until we get more updates about this house, this remains unsolved. Now, in the following videos, a man and his family are convinced they're living with a ghost. In fact, they've gone as far as giving it a name, Ghost Malone, a playful nod to Post Malone, because according to them, the presence feels calm, relaxed, and non-threatening. They say things move around their house almost every night, especially toys, but insist it has never tried to hurt them. Still, many viewers can't help but ask the same question. How long does a spirit stay harmless? Take a look at what a typical night in their home looks like.
It's 3:30 in the morning. I swear on my life. For freaking toy cars. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know whether to wake Elizabeth or somebody call Justin Nunley. Or an exorcist. I mean, I'm not scared, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shaking. So I'm just gonna leave it there till the morning for Elizabeth to come play with it. And it's not electronical, y'all. There ain't no damn motor in that thing. I feel so weird and out of place right now. I don't know if it's still there. To be truthful, I'm thinking about just leaving Elizabeth in Renovation and going somewhere for the night. I don't know what to do. Let's check on her. You still there? Pirates of the Caribbean's getting good. I'm not scared. I'm just kind of freaked out because, like, it's friendly. Hasn't thrown it.
What immediately stands out is the toy car. It has no batteries, no electrical components, and yet it moves on its own. Some viewers tried to brush it off as coincidence, uneven flooring, or leftover momentum, but those explanations quickly fall apart when you realize this isn't a one-time event, and it's not just one toy. Similar things have happened repeatedly, and after seeing this clip, many people weren't convinced that whatever was in the house was truly harmless. Some believe genuinely good spirits are rare, and when they do exist, they don't usually interact directly with the living. Concerned viewers suggested the father try certain cleansing methods to see how the presence would react, a way to test whether the entity was truly peaceful or simply pretending. So the next morning, he followed some of those suggestions. Watch what happened.
I actually fell asleep, and this is what I woke up to. Elizabeth. Baby. Hey. Okay, no, for real, like, so what are we doing? Oh. Okay. Are you... Somebody said salt. Hold on.
I don't know if you're supposed to draw a circle around it.
Well, it's a half circle, but I don't think you're supposed to do anything else. I don't know. Y'all got suggestions, let me know.
Instead of focusing on the fact that the holy water, salt, and prayers didn't seem to drive anything away, viewers noticed something far more disturbing. If you look closely at the doorway, you can see what appears to be a small, childlike figure standing completely still. That single detail sent chills through the comment section, but that raised another unsettling question. Why did the cleansing attempt seem to have little to no effect? Well, things escalated beyond toys. Watch this.
Are you there? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Well, that's one of the things that I've discovered.
Whenever the house goes quiet, all he has to do is ask, "Are you there?" And something moves in response. At that point, many viewers said it could no longer be coincidence. But what troubled people even more was the interaction itself. A lot of paranormal believers warn that acknowledging a spirit gives it energy. Others say responding invites it closer, strengthens its presence, or even allows attachment. Despite all of that, the family continues living as normal, still convinced it isn't dangerous. One night, they didn't only check if it was there, they tried to communicate with it. Watch closely.
So we are all sitting here, enjoying our Taco Bell, right? And Ghost Malone was over there shaking the door a second ago. Ghost Malone, if you are still around, do something.
It was a sign.
Oh, okay. Okay. Nonchalant. Alright, so ironically, I'm watching Ghostbusters, right? Ghost Malone, Ghosty. Yo. Are you kidding? Alright, so I've been asking Ghost Malone some questions. Okay, so 1 time if you're there, 2 times, or I guess no times if you're not. Definitely there, okay. Are you friendly? Okay, okay. Do you like Ghostbusters? No? Okay, do you like movies? Okay, okay. Alright, just on Ghostbusters, I guess it's insulting. Are you here to cause harm? Okay. Okay. Man, I wish I knew Morse code. We'd try that. Are you an older spirit? Okay, but not a bad spirit. Okay. Is there more than one of you? Okay.
Many believe dark entities don't reveal their true nature immediately. Instead, they appear calm, friendly, even playful. A tactic often compared to the Annabelle doll, which was first believed to be harmless before far darker activity followed. Because of this, viewers are increasingly convinced that whatever this entity is, it may be growing stronger, not kinder. People urge the family to stop interacting, cleanse the home thoroughly, and protect themselves before things escalated further. But none of the things happening bothers them. Take a look.
So, a couple weird things have happened tonight. Like my mom's painting over there has moved. Ghosty. Ghost Malone. You there? Don't judge the trash. It's trash day. Ghosty. Okay. Maxie, what was that? Huh? So we're sitting here. Renovation here, is it?
Hi, Maxie.
It should also be noted that we've had several offers from paranormal people to come here and whatnot. We're down, but there's been a few of them that are private profiles, minus the big ones you guys have suggested. Nobody's reached out, but I don't know. I might take offers for people to just come stay the night so you can see whether it's real or not for yourself. I don't know. But yeah, I am gonna take a list of questions. I've been writing down in the comments all the questions you guys have for Ghost Malone. And then we're going to do the Stranger Things light or dog button things to see if that does anything.
This time, even the dog reacts. As the playpen moves, the dog retreats into its cage, a response many believe animals only show when they sense something threatening. According to viewers, a presence strong enough to move objects, frighten a dog, and respond intelligently isn't something to take lightly. Some believe this entity was never harmless, just patient. But until the family shares more updates, all anyone can do is hope the situation doesn't turn dangerous.